Hi crafty friends, Melissa Minor here. Thanks so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. I have Happy Mail. I'm going to be unboxing the Stamps of Life November card kit for you today, and I love this one. It is so pretty. So let me go ahead and jump in, but before I do, I want to tell you that if you're not a Card Kit Club member, I will have information listed down below in the description box. I'll have my affiliate link, and if you decide to join, if you enter my code MelissaM, it will earn you 500 extra bonus points. Let's take a look at the stamp and die set that is for this month. So this is part of the Die Hard Club, and it is called Winter Birds, and it is so pretty. So this card kit coordinates with this stamp set and die set. You don't have to have it, but it coordinates with it. Here's one of the cards that I made with just the stamp and dies, and I'll show you that a little closer up later. All right, I'm going to flip through the paper pad. So you receive 24 double-sided sheets. So there's 12 sheets, and you get 2 of each design. Now here is a cut apart sheet. So let me bring back in those winter bird dies. So if you have those dies, they cut apart those sheets perfectly. Now if you don't have those, you can fussy cut. And here's another cut apart sheet, and this is for the more winter bird dies. So you can purchase those separately on the Stamps of Life website. Now this paper, I don't know if you've ever used the Stamps of Life paper before, but it is very thick. It's more like a cardstock. So it's a really good quality paper. So I'm just flipping through here. I've already flipped through these, but you can see that you get 2 of each of the 12 different designs. Okay, you also receive cardstock and this awesome envelope. So this is cranberry, and you get green apple, midnight, blueberry, ocean, sea glass, cloud, storm, and then I also received, I think this is candy, and then 4 sheets of powdered sugar. All right. And then you also receive envelopes for your cards that you make. And then you get this gorgeous cranberry ribbon. You get this word die that says cheer up. And you get some epoxy dots here. And then here's a look. I should have probably showed this first. That's some inspiration for you. You get stickers, winter wishes, thinking of you, missing you so much, it's your day, and hey friend. You get some bird stickers, and then these holographic stickers. And then you also receive this A1 bouncy side fold card set. So this is amazing, and I'm going to show you a card I made with this too at the end of the video, but this is a really good A1 size card die. Now the Stamps of Life has this in A2 as well, but in the card kit you receive the A1 version. Okay, so I'm just going to put all of this back in my box just to kind of give you a quick overview of everything that comes in the card kit. It is really good this month, so if you haven't subscribed, I recommend you subscribe. The first thing I want to do before I get making some cards is I want to cut out and make some embellishments. So I'm using the green apple cardstock that came right in the kit, and I'm using this die set from my stash. Now this one is called Pine Cone to Stamp. So this is a good one, I think, if you are making cards with these birds. These branches are just perfect. So I'm going to cut out some of these. I am using my Spellbinders Rose Quartz Scout die cutting machine. And I like this because it sits right on my table and it's really easy to use. I don't have to get up. And so I just love this little machine. Okay, I also want to cut out some branches for my little birds to sit on. So I'm bringing in a piece of twig cardstock. Now this one didn't come in the kit, but you know, your bird has to have some place to stand. So I'm going to cut a few pieces of twigs, and then I'm just going to put these in a little stack and sort tray. So I have a good amount of embellishments to choose from as I'm creating some cards. All right, so I got those cut out, and you'll see here the die cut, or the machine cut these perfectly. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know I'm a huge fan of the Call Me Crafty Owl channel, and every month she releases a sheet load of cards. So this is the November sketch, and I will leave her video linked down below where you can get a printable version of this sheet of directions with all of the cutting measurements like I'm using today. So I'm using some of the cardstock that came in the kit. I've got the cloud cardstock here, and I also have a piece of the cranberry. And then I cut apart one of the pattern papers from the kit. And now this one has some pattern in it, so I paid close attention to how I was cutting this apart, so that way when I glue it back down on this cranberry cardstock, that the patterns will match up. So even though there's a little strip of cranberry in between, the patterns all flow nicely together. I'm peeling this one up a little bit because I didn't get it quite straight on the cardstock. Now I'm bringing in this tool. If you've been following my channel, you'll know I like to do some distressing on my scrapbook pages, but I want to incorporate that same style over into my cards. So I feel like my style is kind of changing a little bit. So I have this little tool that I picked up off Amazon, and I'll leave it linked down below as well, but it is a little distressing tool. So I'm going to distress the cardstock and also the pattern paper. And it's okay if it has some little tears and things in it because I want that little distressed look. Now, if this is not a look that you like, I know for one, my daughter does not like any of the distressing, but I love the distressed look. But if you don't like this, you can just omit this step. But I think it adds a little bit of extra interest and even a little bit of dimension, how those sides of the cardstock curl up. Okay, so off to the left, I have my stack and sort tray with some birds that I've colored, some that I fussy cut, some that I use the dies to cut. I've got some pine cones there, some little poinsettias, the cheer up. Now here is the stitch dot circle dies. I brought those in and I cut out a gray circle here. And I want to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. My sentiment is going to be winter wishes. So let me go ahead and grab the Stamps of Life Secret Weapon. I love using the Secret Weapon when I stamp because it will make sure that I get a good stamped impression. So I'm going to peel the stamp here off the backing sheet and place it down and then pick it up with my block. And I'm going to use the Forever Black ink from the Stamps of Life. Now this is a very dark black ink. I like it because it's rich and good for stamping sentiments, but it will stain your stamps and that's okay. I don't think it matters to me. Now I am bringing in my salt cellar here with my stamp chamois, and that's how I clean all of my stamps. So I went ahead and cleaned that, and I'm putting this away. I use the Marietta magnetic sheets and the Avery L stamp and storage pockets to store all of my stamps and dies in. Okay, so I'm using a little bit of the Stamps of Life tape runner, and I'm going to go ahead and get this card panel glued down to my base here. And then I'm going to add my Winter Wishes circle. And now I need to just pick out a bird. So I have a couple, like I said, that I've colored with my markers, and then I have a couple that I've used from the paper pad, or cut from the paper pad. So I think I'm going to use this one. This one was fussy cut from the paper pad, so I like that little look in the bird's eyes. And I want to give it some dimension, so I'm going to bring in some craft foam here. I get this off of Amazon, but this is just a little bit of foam, and I'm going to use some liquid glue and get this foam adhered down to the bird to pop him up. I used to use lots of those little foam squares and things, and I found that those got pretty costly, so I just make my own little pieces of foam to match. Okay, so I'm ready to start assembling this card. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down my Winter Wishes circle here and give it a good press. And then I want to bring in one of those branches from the Winter Birds Stamp and Die set. I love these little twigs. I'm going to use these little branches a lot. I can see them for Christmas cards and any types of animals and things. So I love these. All right, I'm also bringing in some of those sprigs that I cut from the pine cone to stamp. And so now I'm just going to layer a little branch or a little twig here over that branch. And I think I want to add one more. I've got a little smaller branch here, or twig, not twig, foliage, whatever I'm trying to say. That green stuff, I'm going to pile that here on top of my twig. Give it a good press. Now I'm bringing in some paints. So I've been loving adding paints to things. I love splatters. So I'm bringing in some Shimmerz Paints. Now I am on their design team as well. If you ever place an order on the Shimmerz Paints website, you can add my name, Melissa Minor, to the comments section and they'll send you a free paint. So that's a good way to build up a paint collection. But I love I use the Gold Digger, and it's a glossy acrylic spray. Another thing that I've been really into recently is adding some tangled thread. So I just have some tangled thread here. This is just from Walmart, just regular thread from the sewing section. And I'm just gonna tie it around, not tie it around, but just kind of loop it around my fingers. And I'm gonna grab a glue dot, just make a little messy nest of this sewing thread. And I'm gonna place it right here on my branches. And I think this is gonna make it look like a little nest for the bird. So I've got the branches, I've got the greenery, and now I've got a little nest for the bird to sit on. So I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue here to give that bird some dimension. And then I'm going to place him right here on top. Now it looks like I got that glue dot. I didn't quite get him under the bird, so to remove the stick off the top, I'm going to bring in my powder tool here. This is a tool I like to use on my stickers. If you ever get glue or you don't want the stickers to be sticky anymore, you can place this over top and it will take that off. Okay, I'm going to make a card base. So I'm taking my 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock and I placed it at 5.5 and gave it a snip there. And now I'm going to fold this in half and I'm bringing in my Teflon bone folder. I love these bone folders. And I'm just going to press it down here and look at that score line. It makes a perfect score line here. Now before I assemble the front of my card, I'm going to bring in my personalized stamp from the Stamps of Life. And I'm going to use my Forever Black ink. And I have it on my foam here. Secret weapon. It's on my secret weapon. And then I'm going to clean my stamp, and now I've got my personalized stamp on the back. Perfect. It says, created by Melissa Minor. Now I'm going to glue the front, place my card front on there, and that is so cute. I'm being careful to press around the edges because my paint is a little bit wet. So I'm just going to give that a good press, and there we go. Isn't that super cute? Now off camera, I made another one, and on this one, I added some of the gray enamel dots, but otherwise, and used a little different bird, but otherwise it's the same card. Super cute. Now I want to bring in some other cards that I've made using this stamp set to give you some more inspiration, or this card kit. So this was the first one that I showed you, and this one wasn't using the card kit, although you absolutely could use the papers in the card kit for this. But I just used the winter birds. There's the branch there. And then again, the pine cones to stamp for the leaves. And then this one, oh, this one's so pretty. This one I used all the papers from the paper pad this month. And then I also used that Cheer Up die that came right in the kit. And then I used the little holly berries and the leaves, and that is from the winter birds. And I just used the inside dies and cut that out after I colored it up with my Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. Super easy, but very pretty. And then this next card, this one might be, oh, here's the Cheer Up dies that came in the kit. And then this next one might be my favorite. I love this one. And this one, I used the A1 Bouncy Side Fold card set that came in the kit. And I just used some pattern papers that also came in the kit this month. So the gray and then that plaid, that red plaid paper, that all came in the kit. And then again, I used the branches and then the pine cone to stamp. And then this one, I went a little rogue, right? I used all the papers from the paper pad, but I wanted to show you that you could use the paper pads, maybe not necessarily for birds, but just for other things. So I cut out the You Are the Best comes in the card kit. I put some vellum behind there, and then I'm using this stamp and die set, and this is called Flower to Layer, and it's got some leaves and flowers. I love this leaf that's in this set. It's one of my favorites for leaves. And then I cut out the flowers, different size flowers from the pattern papers, and use some foam to pop those up. And that's so pretty. And then I also used one of the stamps in that set and stamped it with some white ink. So that's just a look. Leave me a comment down below on which card is your favorite. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.